All right. Salute Mets fans everywhere. Glad y'all are here, rocking the spot. And welcome to the New York Mets Lounge. It's going to go over a few things, talk about a few things, man. The topic of the day, though, is the Mets starting batting lineup. Is it power based, speed based, or balanced? Power based, speed based, or balanced. And so when I look at the lineup, I see Lindor, Soto, Bichette, Polanco, Simeon, Robert, Beatty, or whoever is the left fielder, DH, whoever, Alvarez behind the plate, Carson Bench, possibly, and maybe another guy, right? Um, what I'd like to look at though is 4 through 9. Is 4 through 9 as good as we think? Is 4 through 9 needing improvement? I'm sorry, 5 through 9. 5 through 9. 5 through 9. I'm sorry, 5 through 9. I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. 5 through 9, I'm sorry. So 5 through 9. And based on what we see today, that would be Simeon. So it'd be Simeon, Robert, Beatty, Alvarez, Benj, or whoever plays left. Man, I think we're kind of in a tough spot because just off the cusp of things, I would think that Benj, Alvarez, Beatty, Vientos, Mauricio, and whoever else need at bat so that they can prove that they are quality major leaguers, right? At the same time, how many at bats are you offering? And what if they don't get up to a fast start? What if the aforementioned guys, Beatty, Benj, Alvarez, Vientos, Mauricio, don't get off to quick starts? Then what? Then what? Do you go bring in a guy? Because if you give them a chance, they don't get off to a fast start, and you go get a guy. It seems as if you spent your wheels for a little bit when you could have been padding your lead. You could have been padding your lead in the NL East, as opposed to having to fight your way up the standings. There are a lot of people out there that feel like the Braves and the Phillies are still better than the Mets in terms of starting lineup. I am in the camp of, I think the Mets may need to add an extra bat. Now, where that bat comes from, maybe it's in-house. Maybe it's Vientos. Maybe it's Beatty. Maybe it's Vientos. Maybe it's Beatty. Maybe it's Alvarez. I think we're in a tough spot. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the lineup. Tell me what you think about Simeon, Robert, Beatty, Alvarez, Benj, Vientos, Tyrone Taylor. Man, looks like we're in a tough spot, y'all. Looks like we're in a tough spot. Looks like we're in a tough spot. But here's the bat. Here's the dilemma. So if you go at a bat, what type of bat are you adding? if you go get a bat, what type of bat are you adding? Right? The popular answer, to what type of bat you're adding is this. Go get a 4-hitter, have Polanco bat 5th, right? Go add a right-handed power bat to bat 4th, have Polanco bat 5th, and extend your lineup there. My thinking, however, is not that. My thinking is go get a true leadoff man. Right? Nothing against Lindor in the leadoff spot. I love Lindor in the leadoff spot. Right? But I also like Lindor being able to drive in runs. Right? I love Lindor's contact. I don't want to take Lindor from the top of the lineup. What I'd like to do though is get an on-base guy ahead of Lindor, Soto, Bichette. A leadoff guy ahead of Lindor, Soto, Bichette is what I would love to have. Preferably a left fielder, a left fielder that has a high on base percentage historically. Takes a lot of pitches. Who that player is, I'm not for sure. The player profile though is left fielder, decent defender, gets on base, gives Lindor, Soto, Bichette, Polanco the opportunity to drive in runs, so that we won't have to depend on the long ball to drive our offense. Now, home runs are great, right? And they solve a lot of issues. You're down 3, hit a grand slam, you take the lead, right? Simple as that, right? But you got to get people on base to do that, right? And solo home runs, while they're great, they don't put up crooked numbers. And so what I'm looking for, and if we're looking to extend the lineup, is a guy that can get on base ahead of Lindor, right? And not for Lindor to get that runner to third for a guy to come up. No, I'm looking for a guy to get on to split the attention of the pitcher so that Lindor can see more straight fastballs. It's as simple as that. It's not complicated. I want runners on base so the pitcher has split attention so that he can make mistakes over the plate to Lindor, Soto, Bichette, and Polanco. And it doesn't need to be a lot of mistakes, right? You don't have to. I don't mean home run derby pitches, right? Pitchers are too smart and too talented to do that. But if you get a runner on and he splits the attention of the pitcher, and Lindor, Soto, Bichette, Polanco can get these pitchers into batters' counts, now you ease everything up. You make it easier for the lineup to turn over. I think the struggle with us, say for the past few years, is that we get into even or pitchers counts, and then we have to do something heroic in order to score, right? In order to score, as opposed to runner on second in a 3-1 count with Bo Bichette on deck, right? You don't want to walk Juan Soto and have Bichette come up with a runner on first and second and no outs. And I know that sounds like an extreme strategy, but these are the things that happen during the course of the game, not once or twice. This happens 3 or 4 times a game. How often do we capitalize on that, though? That's the key. That's the key. The key is how often do we capitalize on these clutch moments? And the signing of Bo Bichette is brilliant in that he partially solves that problem just by existing. Bo Bichette partially solves that just by existing because I think he had the highest batting average in Major League Baseball with runners in scoring position. So he partially solved that in Toronto, right? But how often are the Mets going to get runners in scoring position when Bo Bichette is on deck? I think how you solve that is not by adding a power hitter behind Bo Bichette, because that's going to be hard to find unless the Mets sign Suarez, Eugenio Suarez, right? I mean, you know. But I do believe the easiest way to do that is to find the on-base guy with a decent glove to play left field, bat leadoff, maybe bat about 260, 270. Anything above that is great. Y'all know that. I'm saying as a baseline, right? On-base percentage, 360, 370. That's perfect for a leadoff hitter. And then that way, you get Francisco Lindor in those moments where he can drive in runs also, because he's a high contact guy. Right? He's a high contact guy. Turn that lineup over. Take the pressure off your young pitching staff. Take the pressure off your defenders that are learning new positions, right? Because if Beatty doesn't play third and Bichette does play third and Polanco does play first, y'all know what that means. That means you have 3 guys learning a new position at the same time. And what does that do for your pitcher's confidence? Joe, what's good, man? I like the Stephen Kwan idea. That's my favorite of all, right? I like the Kwan idea. I don't know if he bats lead. I don't know if he would bat leadoff for us. That's the tricky thing. Armand was good, man. It was good. The tricky thing is Stephen Kwan a leadoff hitter for the Mets? Would he get on base enough? Would he take enough pitches? Right? I don't know where he batted with the Cubs. I saw a game one time he was batting like 6th or 7th. I don't know if he's somebody in the chat let me know if Stephen Kwan is a leadoff man. Yeah. Kwan with the Guardians. Yeah, the left fielder with the Guardians. Yeah. Kwan is an elite defensive left fielder. Yeah. He's an elite. He's Gold Glove caliber left field for the Cubs. Yeah, he's an elite defender, and he usually bats somewhere in that. Last I saw, it was like 260, 270 range, 270 maybe. Yeah, and I do understand the Carson Bench thing, right? I do understand the Carson Bench thing. I think if Carson Bench doesn't pop off the screen in spring training, I don't know if he makes it. I don't know if he breaks camp. right? If Carson Bench doesn't have a very good camp, I don't know if you bench Brett Beatty because Carson Bench is here. If Carson Bench doesn't prove he's an elite everyday left fielder. I think in order for you to bench Brett Beatty, I think Carson Bench has to be on fire in camp, right? And by having Carson Bench break camp and being your everyday left fielder, then pushing Brett Beatty into that DH mix, that takes reps also away from Mark Vientos. So what do you do with Vientos? It puts you in that weird thing of it puts you in a weird spot. Oh, I love it. Yeah, mind. I love it. I love it. I love it. Right. I love the batting average is the part that I love. The slug. I can live with the slug also because he gives you elite defense. Right? He gives you elite defense. Right? So I can live without the slug because he's an additive. Right? He's an additive. He adds to your defense. So yeah. Yeah. Joe says Benj needs more seasoning. Oof. Oof. Wow, 351. That's not bad. That's not bad considering that Cubs lineup. I mean, I'm sorry, not Cubs. I don't know why I keep saying Cubs because I have Nico Horner on the brain. Man. I'm sorry, Guardians. I don't know why I keep saying Cubs, y'all. Not Cubs. I'm sorry. I have Nico Horner on the brain. Right, not that they look alike or any of that stuff. Is I have I have a point about Nico Horner that I want to bring up, and so I just got a couple of thoughts combining at the same time. So pardon me for that. My thought was my thought is that basically Nico Horner and Fernando Tatis are my two favorite trade targets. If you're a baseball fan, and if you're a baseball fan, a lot of times you're going to have trade targets, some guys that other teams that you wish played for your team. And Armand says, "Wait a minute, what kind of okay? If the Mets add another outfielder, it would be via free agency impossible. A right-handed bat, right? Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt, right? Yeah, that's that's impressive. That's impressive, very. How do y'all feel about the Quan versus Benj thing anyway? How do y'all feel about the Quan versus Benj thing anyway? Right? Do you feel like a look at Quan in left field is a shot at Benj long term? Or because I think Quan is an everyday player. I think Robert is an everyday player, and we know Juan Soto is an everyday player. Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And Tatis is one of those players that great point, Armand. And Tatis is one of those players that keeps the franchise value at an all-time high. If you trade Tatis Jr., I don't know if the franchise value. I don't know in a sell or sale. I don't know if you get the same amount for the Padres if you start trading off valuable pieces, especially to Steve Cohen. Especially to the Mets, right? I was napping earlier, like kind of in that state of, how you're sleeping, but you can kind of hear things going on around you or whatever. And so I was half dozing, whatever you call it. Man, I'm not Harvard educated, whatever you call it, right? But I heard a Mets content creator say that they would entertain the thought of trading Brett Beatty and Vientos for Tarek Skubal. And those that have been those that of you that know me and know this young channel, y'all know I love Vientos. Y'all know I love Swaggy. Y'all know I love Swaggy, right? Yo, David Smith is in the building. Salute. Yeah!
Yo!
Look who's in the building. Salute.
Salute. Mets family, my brother, Uncle Breezy.
Salute.
Sorry about that, brother. Doing daddy duties. Duties, brother.
Job number one, bro. Job number one. I want to jump on a little bit early because I got to do an echo and essence later. So I'm gonna do an echo and essence later. I got this this music topic. I just wanted to talk about. It's like it's really niche. It's a digging in the crates type thing, like how you find great music in these great places, like how you find great samples, or you find a great jazz record, or it's something like. So I'm gonna talk about that later. That's why I'm jumping on a little bit earlier to do the next.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yo, that's my world. So like, let me know too. But I just got listen. I'm gonna keep it very fresh with all my Mets family in the chat. Peace to the chat, by the way.
Peace to the chat.
I got two daughters. There's some young men here, and there's certain things that a man will do and won't do, and what I won't do is be too far away.
Right.
Because I don't want to end up in a bad place. Anyway,
or someone else in a bad place.
Right. Well, because of yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? Quan here, or
so let me tell you, I'm gonna break it down for you. I'm gonna break it down for you, right? So here's the thing. People have been hitting me up with hey, Uncle Freezy, we need another bat, bro. We need a bopper, bro. We need some Bichette protection, right? I get it. I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree. Now, mind you, the word need and the term nice to have, even though they sound similar, they are not the same. Right?
Right. They used to be when you were 18, but they're not now. For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So I feel I would love to have Suarez DH.
The one we were talking about from Seattle last year?
Yeah, from the Reds, from the Diamondbacks.
Back in the day, the Reds. He was in Seattle when they made that lineup last year in Seattle was so bonkers. You had a guy who hit 60 and a guy who hit 49, and it was just nuts.
Yeah.
Eugenio
Yeah,
Suarez.
yeah.
Yeah,
However we pronounce it, Eugenio,
yeah.
Eugenio, it don't
E
matter.
dot E dot
Yeah,
E dot.
him,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
master, him. He's still a free
yeah,
agent, right?
yeah.
I
And
think he would.
it's weird.
Right, I think it would be nice to have him. Right.
Yeah,
I think
right,
that's a nice to have.
right,
I think the Mets need, and I mean like NEEEEEEEE. I can go on for a while, but basically need.
right. In capitals.
Yeah, in capitals, right?
I'm with you.
A leadoff hitter, right? And not because Lindor is not a great leadoff hitter,
It's interesting.
right?
I've been
They
thinking like that, like a little bit. Anyway, go ahead.
they need a leadoff hitter because the job of a traditional leadoff hitter is not to be a a run producer, but be the duck on the pond for your run producer. Right.
And right, Speedy able to get a single. He might
Get
crack
the
a home
extra base.
run maybe 10 times a year,
Yep.
5 times a year.
Yep.
Yep.
Face at least 6 or 7 pitches every time around. Reset the top of the lineup when he comes up.
Absolutely.
Whether he starts off the game, 1 out, 2 outs, whatever it is, he resets the lineup, right?
Make the pitcher work.
Yeah, make the pitcher throw at least 6 to 7 pitches, right?
Yep, if not more.
Yep, make the pitcher show his arsenal to the batters in the dugout, on deck, and in the hole, right?
Which is your best hitters. So
right,
yes.
right, right.
Makes sense.
If you ask arguably your best hitter to be that means your best hitter is on base for the guys that are not the best hitter. Right? So,
yes, 100%.
While I know people are going to question, like, but he's right. Soto's right behind him. I get it, and Bichette is right behind Soto. I get it. Right.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is, if you want to extend your lineup with the best hitters in your lineup, right? Have Lindor bat second with a runner on first, right? A pitcher has to pitch to Lindor with a runner on first, because if you walk Lindor, you don't want to face Soto with runners on first and second. So now you have to pitch to Soto because you don't want to walk Soto, who's a walk machine, and then face
a big time walk machine.
And then face Bo Bichette with the bases loaded, and he has the highest batting average in Major League Baseball with runners on base.
Yep. He has the best RISP in baseball.
Right.
Yep.
And so basically what I'm saying is do you want to be in that conundrum where the starting pitcher starts a game in high leverage pitching? Like, as soon as the pitcher comes out of the bullpen, and if our leadoff guy gets on first, it's high leverage in the first inning.
Yeah. Right.
It's high leverage in the first inning. Now you're grinding down this pitcher, and this pitcher may not make it to the 5th or 6th inning. And now at the back end of the game, you have these same electric bats now going against this team's bullpen. And on top of that, if that is the first game of a series, say we're playing the Dodgers in May, right? Say we're playing the Dodgers in May in LA, and they have their aces set up against our aces. And their ace of the ace of the ace is pitching game 1, and he mess arounds and walks our leadoff man. Now you have to face Lindor and pitch to him with Soto behind him. You can't pitch around Lindor because if you pitch around Lindor,
right,
at a minimum, it's a walk. At a maximum, it's a home run. Usually, it's something somewhere in the middle. Maybe runners on first and third, no outs, and now you have to face Juan Soto, who you cannot pitch around because he has the best eye in baseball. Right?
Right. And you can't pitch around him because the guy following him has the best wrist in baseball.
With runners in scoring position. Right?
Yeah, sorry. I use the abbreviation, but runners in scoring position, he is the highest in all of, so listen to it, all of baseball.
Right. So, But here's the alternative. Say if you don't go get a left fielder, say you just signed Suarez.
Okay.
Right? Say you just signed Suarez. And say Lindor is up, he's your leadoff man.
Okay.
He's a guy that does damage. But damage is, let's say damage is about 30% of the time. Right?
Okay.
Like damage is, I'm not saying just a base hit. I'm saying damage. Like, say he walks, hits a double, hits a home run, something like that, right? Soto is up next, right? And say you walk Soto. Now there's Bichette, right? And when Bichette comes up, you're like, do I take my chances with Bichette and walk him to get to Suarez, or do I pitch to him?
Right.
The gamble I'm taking is I would rather walk Bichette and get the bases loaded and face Suarez so that he can hit a sharp ground ball to shortstop so I can turn a double play. I give up a run, but I get 2 outs.
I'll even give up a run on a sac fly.
Right.
And get it out and try to work my way through, whether it's Alvarez or Polanco or whoever's going to be afterwards. We'll take our chances. This is the meat. This is the scary part now. I'll take my chances on that. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
But we made our way through the scary part of the lineup too fast. You see what I'm saying? Like, but here's the dream scenario. What if you get that leadoff hitter and sign Suarez?
Well, that's funny you say that. That was the dream scenario, and I'm not quite sure we don't have him on the team already.
Right.
Okay. I'm not quite sure we don't have him on the team already, and not named Lindor. I'm talking about, not named Lindor, but it could go anywhere from now you try and do this with the people we just only going after Suarez.
No. Because I don't have a specific bopper in mind. I only use Suarez as an example, and I don't have a leadoff guy in mind. I'm only using the example.
Okay.
I'm only using the example of the lineup is more dangerous with Soto. I mean, with Lindor batting with runners on base, because now you have to pitch to Lindor. Because if you walk Lindor, you have to face Soto, and if you pitch around Soto, you have to pitch to Bichette.
Yep.
Right. But then if you somehow get through that, if you get through that 1, 2, 3, are you really afraid of Polanco, Simeon, Alvarez, Beatty, Binge, whoever?
Robert Jr. See, we gotta remember that we have a team that is most likely stacked with just think about when you go to the bank and they give you the option of getting the hundreds out But if you get $100 bill, that's singular. That's Soto, right? He's $100 bill.
Yeah.
But if you got 5 20s, you still had $100.
Yeah. You said that
But
right.
you have five of them bills now in your pocket,
Right.
and two of those bills you take out and you put them on the side. That's Soto. Now you have three other guys. So what I'm saying here, when I'm adding this up, right, and then you might make change with one of those 20s, and that's like Beatty, right? Beatty's like the $10 or whatever it might be.
Right. Right.
So the more you put in between other people, like for instance, if you went out there and you got a bopper, which I really believe we need. I'm not gonna front. I'm gonna tell you very honestly. I believe we need a bopper.
Right.
Um,
And so define bopper for the audience though.
we need
40 home run.
this is gonna sound. I'm gonna say it very directly. We need a Pete Alonso like top archetype player.
Right.
He doesn't necessarily have to do the same things. Actually, we would prefer if he was a little more better with the average. But a traditional bopper is somebody who's hitting, in the area of, 30, 35, 40 home runs.
Okay.
This guy we're talking about had 49 last year.
Right.
So that's the big guy. You want the scary bat, and the reason why it didn't work out extremely well last year, why it was so easy to let go, is because right behind Pete they would have Nimmo, which even though Nimmo hit 20 something home runs, his eye had faded from the plate. He was a lefty that was seeing a lot of lefties. He was not getting that hit. So you want to have somebody who we already got two people on.
Impactful. Those wasn't impactful 25 home runs, bro.
No, they were honestly, I looked it up. I think that the 3/4 of them were solo. Lead off or with 2 outs or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, and not only that, but that's a different conversation that would lead to a lot of other things. But the truth is that he had a noodle for an arm. I don't want to disrespect a man that I had a lot of love for, who played played for my team, but his time was done. So, anywhere from like Gary Carter. See, I don't want to name too special of players. I'm trying to think of a player that everybody knows that's not super special, but fits that type. Let me see. Like the Cubs had a lot of power on their team, so not Schwarber, not Harper in the Phillies, not. Yeah, but you like somebody like that. If you could get somebody like a Pete, somebody like a Rizzo from back in the day in Chicago, somebody like that, where they would hit fourth, not the biggest average, but when he gets a hold of one, it's gone. The cover might come off. So
a Fred McGriff.
A Fred McGriff is great. Definitely a Frank Thomas. Wow. Yeah, Frank Thomas. I love Frank Thomas. He was one of my favorite ball players.
Yeah.
Always wish he came here. I always wish he showed up here. I was obsessed. I was like, yo, he was one of my favorites ever. Anyway, so yeah, something like that. But um so we were trying to, but you could put Polanco there. Polanco hits 20, 25 home runs. You could put Alvarez there. You could put whoever you think. If you think Swaggy could hit 25 home runs and maybe hit 240 because he's not fully ready yet, he could go there.
Yeah.
So I'm, you know,
Right.
I would like to. I'd rather have the guy who hit 49 home runs last year, though. I will not lie about that. I think that we are. I think that okay. So got chat and all out there on the Mets land, and for all our, replay family. We're talking. That's why we were willing to do 50 million for a Tucker, because we wanted a bopper out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was absurd, and I'm really glad we didn't do that, because that's a waste of a lot of money on a guy that you might not hit you that much in cold. Yeah, that's like Uncle Freeze's favorite. But I believe in him too. The guy hit 27 home runs. He has potential.
I believe Swaggy's a 50 home run guy at some point. I think he can do it.
All right, I'm not gonna drink the carried away juice right now. All right, I'm not gonna drink the fresh organic.
You're not gonna take a Swaggy and tonic?
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not having. No, I'm not gonna have.
I like to have a Vientos and tonic.
Yeah, can I get a Vientos and a side of salt? Let me get a
Vientos and juice, please.
We got three shots of Vientos, please. Listen, Vientos hit 27 home runs. In my lifetime, I was taught a couple things. I was taught that over 5 means to round up, under 5 means to round down.
Right.
27 sounds a lot more like 30 than it does like 20. So 30 home runs would be just fine to put in the middle of a lineup, because there's plenty of teams that do not have a 30 home run hitting cleanup hitter. This is why we tried Bellinger afterwards. This is why we tried all the people. For all those who are going to say, well, this is crazy. Why did we get rid of Pete? Hey, listen, I agree with you. I do. But there is another part of me that says, what do we win with him? And maybe that's my denial part, my part going, I have to say that to make myself feel better. Because really, the truth is, the real best archetype is exactly who we had.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go backwards, right? I'm not going to go backwards. I'm not going to sit here and talk about it. I got to talk about what we have and who we have.
Right.
So, yes, right now, our best possible chance is to go out and get a Suarez. But there are some problems with that. You do realize that.
Yeah.
What do you do with all the other third basemen and shortstops and second basemen we have now picked up?
I have an answer.
I want to hear it. All right, Uncle Freezy, raise your hand. You pick it. Okay. Got you. Go ahead, sir.
Terry Skubal. Terry Skubal.
Yeah, but
That's
that's the young kids. What are we going to do with the Simeons and the Bichette? We're not getting rid of Bichette for him.
no, Suarez is a DH, bro. Suarez.
Right. So
Yeah,
that
Suarez is a
means
DH. He's not a if he
but
could play third, bro, he would have got the largest contract. He'd have got a larger contract than Tucker. Like if he could play, if he could defend.
well, last year you got all right. So I'm just gonna say this. Last year he played a lot at third because Polanco is a kind of he's weird.
He's a washed up shortstop defensively. I mean,
Second base, yeah,
he not that no more. He's not
no,
that.
right. So he's DH and played a lot of it on that same team.
Yeah.
So
So basically, what you're saying is out of both poor defenders, my guy played more defense than Polanco did. Right.
by a lot.
I agree. I think the team dynamic here though is if you're gonna move Bichette off of third, you got to play Beatty there, right? If there is the only reason why Beatty's not penciled in as the third baseman is because Bichette wants to play defense every day, right?
Right.
But if there was a world where Suarez came in, is like, nah, I'm the third baseman, then Bichette would be at second. Simeon would be gone.
Yeah. Simeon would have to be
Simeon
tossed
would be
into
gone because
that.
the only reason why you're not bringing Simeon in to be let me back up on a Simeon thing. So everybody, let me back up on the. So for one, Simeon is from all accounts that I hear is a good person, right? And a great
Probably
leader.
one of the best clubhouse leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not a party leader either. Not the one, hey, everybody come to my house so I can entertain.
Right.
Now he's the guy, he like, hey, Bubba, listen, you're 2 for 20 and you're starting that curveball in the middle of the plate, and then you're diving in the other batter's box to get it. You gotta and for some hitters, they don't take advice, but some guys you just had to go to them like, hey, bro, the only reason why I'm telling you this is because you're struggling, and I don't want to continue. I don't want to see you continue to struggle. Like that's a part of the leadership, right?
I mean, right. And I mean, the man immediately came in and started to work with Beatty, Benj, and Vientos immediately.
Yeah. Immediately. And
that's
the other guy, and the other kid that got traded. What's the other kid that got traded?
and Jet. That's who it was. Jet.
And Jet.
Yeah, not Vientos. Jet.
Yeah.
Right. So
hey, I'm gonna check this soup. I'll be right back, bro.
All right. So in my view right now with the team that we have laid out in front of us, I agree that we have to I would like to push the lineup back. And even though we've had Lindor batting first for a very long time, right now, due to the lack of that cleanup hitter, because let's be honest, I really don't look at either guy, Polanco or Simeon or those guys, as a cleanup guy. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that, but I just don't. So we have to figure out who is the guy that's going to hit fourth behind Bichette, and it might be something that's so out of left field. Chad, do me a favor. Yes or no me if you would say you'd be okay with Alvarez batting fourth. And don't forget that we're still trying out some of these people for first base because we don't really have a first base until Clifford comes. So I want to know if Alvarez is my answer right now to bat fourth. It gives him some, oh, they believe in me. It gives him, Alvarez is, to me, the body type, the power type, right? That it would give him a jump start. And then maybe in a year from now, somebody like a Clifford, or if somebody else we pick up, if we pick up somebody else, because I rather go after, instead of a bopper this year, maybe more like Valdez or something like that. So I went with something out of left field. Here's the lineup.
Wait a minute. So you agree with the leadoff hitter thing then?
Yes, I agree with the pushback of Lindor batting second.
Soto batting third.
Oh no! So you're starting Soto. I mean, you're starting Lindor as your
right fielder.
No, as your leadoff hitter. You were trying to avoid that, right?
No.
Me neither. So this is what I thought. Ready? If he's not going to be your leadoff hitter, then that means that everything we're talking about leads to Bichette, because we're saying Bichette's going to hit behind Soto. I said, what about batting Alvarez as your cleanup hitter? I asked the chat what they thought about that. I'm going to take a look. And a lot say they agree. Not yet. Yes, with Polanco batting fifth. So that's I'm guessing you guys are saying that with Bichette will have a monster year hitting after Soto. I agree with that 1,000%. That's what we're talking about here.
I'm disagreeing with it.
You disagree that Bichette's going to have a great year?
No, with Alvarez.
Okay, then, well, who's the leadoff hitter?
I don't have one. That's what I've been saying the whole show. What I'm saying is the search should be for a leadoff hitter, and Lindor bat second, Soto bat third, Bichette bat fourth, Polanco bat fifth, and then you start your lineup. You start your ifs at 6, 7, 8, and 9. right? As opposed to it starting at 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is what I'm saying. All right.
Got you.
And here's the thing. And here's the thing, chat. If we're thinking bat alone, first of all, Alvarez has not proven that he can hit for average or power in the major leagues yet, right? And putting him in that spot, while we're sure that after about 200 or 300 at bats, he can kind of get his footing. You don't want to put your best or your most important defender in a spot where he has to carry your offense. Those guys are so rare. Like, mind you, if you're asking Alvarez to be a great defender and be your most important offensive player, we're asking him to be in that Johnny Bench category for a guy that's about 24. This is the thing. While everybody else is getting extra swings and extra reps in the batting cage and all that stuff, do you know what your starting catcher is doing? He's getting treatment for bumps and dings, and he's in pitchers and catchers meetings. Right?
Excuse me.
So while your left fielders, DHs, and all of those guys are getting extra swings and extra film study and all that stuff, your catcher has to be in those pitchers and catchers meetings. He has to be getting treatment so that he can play every day and things of that sort. Now, if Alvarez wasn't the starting catcher, right, I'd be like, no, hey, man, put him in there and do it. Put him in there and do it. Right? But if you're asking our young prospect, not even prospect, our young everyday catcher to hit you, bat about 260, hit 40 home runs, and be an elite defender with a brand new pitching staff and breaking in young pitchers, I think that's asking Alvarez to do a lot. Now, is he up for the challenge? Of course he is. He said it on Sunday Night Baseball. He said that on Sunday Night Baseball. Was it last year when we played somebody on Sunday Night Baseball, Little League World Series and all that? Y'all remember the Little League World Series was going on and the Mets were in on Sunday Night Baseball? I don't know if that was last year or the year before last, whenever it was, right? So he says he wants to be up for the challenge, but at the same time, even a veteran would have a tough time handling a brand new pitching staff. You have a brand new ace, right? Your number two is a young prospect pitcher, right? And you're going to ask him to bat fourth, right? And take care of his body. That's, man, if Alvarez was a left fielder, I would say, hell yeah, do it. But for your starting catcher, man, that's like asking a lot, man. If you bet Alvarez is cleanup and he has to be an elite defender and break in a new pitching staff and drive in a ton of runs, we're talking about not even a Pudge Rodriguez. You're talking about a Johnny Bench type catcher. If he can manage all those things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I said it would look good on him because he was showing signs of breaking out of whatever he did. Because remember, his first year, he played 3/4 of a year and he banged out 25 home runs.
Yep.
He has raw power. Yep. He has been taught by a superb defensive catcher.
Yep.
Who throws out people at a rate
he worked himself into that, right?
Right. But also with the help of Terrence, he has definitely stepped into that's an excellent teaching sign.
Right.
So if you put him in fourth. Hear me out. You put him in fourth, then you push back some of your other guys who are like I'm I feel more secure, and this is gonna sound real tough, but I gotta double check on this, but I'm pretty sure that that was Polanco's best year last year.
Okay.
So if that was his best year in the amount of times, home run wise, in the amount of times that he's been playing, I think it gives. I think I agree with you with all the other stuff, like the amount of like pressure as being a good catcher, calling a good ball game, leading the pitching squad that's now led by a real ace, an up and coming stud in McLean. You know, the fork ball if he's still there, you know, all this stuff.
Right.
And so you have a couple of choices, because the more I think about it, getting Suarez, unless you get him on a sweetheart deal, which is kind of looking kind of like what happened with Pete last year, kept waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and no one signed him. So and finally we gave him, okay, here's 3 years, but it really turned into 1 year, and that's it. 2 years, but turned into 1 year, and that's it.
Yeah.
That would be fine with Suarez, but then what you traded for Nimmo, what are you gonna do with Simeon? What are you gonna do with all these people? They're not just gonna get rid of them, and they're very hard to trade. I think it gives Alvarez a boost of confidence. Oh, you want me to be here in between Soto and whoever? I think it gives them a boost of confidence. Now, am I really, really excited by it? No. My real deal, and it just came to my brain right now, my real deal is to take one of those guys, take a Simeon, and maybe go down into the farm and give a phone call to the San Diego Padres for Tatis, and now you have your cleanup hitter and your right fielder. And that's the answer. That's the answer. And you could probably unload for the money to match money. You could probably unload Simeon, because Simeon's money is way bigger than Bichette. You're way bigger than any of these guys.
Yeah.
Well, Bichette's not going anywhere. We just signed him, and I don't want him to go anywhere. He hits 300. But you could trade Polanco. You could trade one of these other guys.
I would trade those starting pitchers that are question marks.
Yeah, sure. If they took them, I would too. If they were, especially the ones that have expiring contracts.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're going to have to throw in you're going to have to throw in a couple.
I think your answer is easy, bro. Wait out Suarez, bro, and get him on a sweetheart deal. The closer we get to pitches and catches, the more likely he'll take a sweetheart deal, like maybe 1 year, 20 million, something like that. Right?
Yeah, like
because
you did with Pete.
He's waiting on a multi-year deal, and the Mets can get him on a prove-it deal.
Yeah.
And the one thing about sluggers too, is most sluggers are gonna hit. They're gonna be punches and bunches, right? They're gonna be punches and bunches. That's basically what it is. Like anytime you look at a Dave Kingman type, like Jeremy Burnett's type, 49 home runs, batting 229 type guy, you know they're gonna have their 3 home run series. Like they'll go to Pittsburgh and hit 3 home runs over the weekend, or they'll go on a West Coast trip. They'll hit you 7 home runs in 12 games, right? You know that's what it's going to be like. Or they'll get to a park that's perfectly suited for their swing, like San Diego for right-handed batters. Like you'll get to San Diego. San Diego's a huge park, but for some reason, if you're a right-handed batter, San Diego just fits the aesthetic. But at the same time, if that's your plan for Alvarez, then I would say do it and do it early. Let him grow into that role and mature in that role. But here's my thing, bro. Here's my thing. Jay, if you put him in that role right now and you don't get the immediate result you want, you can't jerk around that young player. You have to go with it and stay with it and let him figure it out. That's the thing that the Mets don't do often enough. If a young guy spots something and they don't say, for instance, if you put Alvarez in that 4th spot, he's your 4th spot hitter for the next 2 years. You got to give him that. For the next 2 seasons, bro, you got to give him that. Because if you jerk him out of that, now you're looking at him being a player like Vientos and Beatty, right? One good year, now you can't figure it out. Now his confidence is weird in a real weird place. And now he's taking a bad at bat out to the defense, and now he's throwing a ball in center field. And now it's like, now Terrence is getting more starts. And then now it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So in my mind, I am batting Alvarez 8th, right? I'm batting him 8th, and whatever he gives me out of the 8th spot, hitting wise, I don't care if he hits 35 home runs in that 8th spot. 35 home runs and 85 RBIs, I'm still not moving him, right? I'm still not moving him. And the only reason why I wouldn't bat him 9th is because I want to have some speed on in front of my 1, 2, 3, 4 hitters.
Right, that's exactly. Right, because essentially when that guy comes up, it'll be 2 leadoffs.
Yeah.
In like the 4th inning or whatever it might be, or the 5th inning, it might be 2 leadoffs. I mean, you could take you could see if you could revitalize Robert Jr., and throw him in the front. I just don't see anybody else on our team. The guy that we possibly could have did that with, we traded away. In Jet. So I for some reason, as much as I've been screaming this for years now, that Lindor should either bat 2 or 3.
Right.
I don't think the Mets gonna do that.
You don't think they're gonna bat him 2 or 3?
No, I think they're gonna leave him off.
Okay.
Only because that's what they're used to now.
Right.
And we didn't pick up. We don't have, like, Ewing is not ready, and now if you go out and you get a. That's why I'm so damn angry with that beautiful, delicious contract that Ramirez signed over there in Cleveland. I'm so angry at, because that 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 was my dream. Um, there's a lot of different. You generally you want your first guy again to be able to get on to have good speed, get your singles and doubles, generally have a nice 275, 280 type average, right? Could drag bunt, could do a lot of things. Your second batter could is should be more of what McNeil was or Wally Backman.
Right.
Right, your singles guy, your bunt guy, your guy who could, drag bunt and hit a single, he'll double once in a while, hit a homer.
Right.
So, as much as I agree with you that I would love to see him batting second, Lindor, Soto third, and a what I call that boom bat
Yep. Yep.
at fourth.
Yep.
If we're not going to trade any more of our farm and he's not here yet, then we have to have a makeshift. And let's not forget, Bichette hit 25 home runs with that 300 average type thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, do I want Bichette being my cleanup hitter? Not really. But his prototype is third.
Okay.
The actual real answer of the person who should be batting cleanup on this team is Soto. That's the answer.
Right.
Soto should be batting cleanup on this team.
I think he's too patient. I think he's too patient of a bat. I think he is absolutely. I've seen him take fastballs in a 2-0 count that I could hit 400 feet, and I'm a kind of a fat 50-year-old, not really, but kind of getting it. I'm dad bod 50-something-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think he's super. I think he's so patient, man. At the plate, bro, is.
But he's got the power and the boomstick like that, and then you could revert. Remember, we're looking at a lot of righties. We got a couple lefties. The two lefties we wanted, we struck out on, and because that's what really hurt, not getting one of those guys. And because we don't have one of those guys, Soto might have to be the fourth guy. And you might have to improvise now.
Right.
And you could switch your lineup and put the guy where I really wanted. At hitting third, which would be Lindor, and then you could have Bichette either leading. No, he doesn't run. Either then he would bat fifth. Soto should hit fourth. You could put Polanco at second. You could put Polanco up at second. He's a switch hitter.
Does he run?
No, but the second guy usually is not fast.
How good of a base runner is he?
I would have to leave this to go there. Hold on, because I did this. Give me a second.
Hey, Tony says Mendoza already said that the top three. Did
Yeah.
he say what order? Did he said Lindor, Soto, Bichette?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing the whole time. That's why he's not leaving first. As much as you and I like to see 2-3 being, because it gives us more depth by having Lindor at 2 and Soto at 3. But that is the problem of not. I don't want to say his name again, but not keeping our guy. Okay, it's a killer. That's the killer of not. I'm gonna say it. The killer of not keeping Pete is that we hurt ourselves because legitimately we could have put somebody who hits like 260 to 270 up first with some speed. We could took a flyer on Robert Jr. We could have took a flyer at anybody, and then pushed back the entire lineup.
Yeah.
Freaking Pete, man. No, it's the Mets. It's not Pete. It's the Mets. The Mets did that.
The Mets did that, bro.
The Mets did that. And I understand why in some circumstances, because he was a subpar fielder and his strikes out. He try to break the bat.
Yeah.
But I will tell you right now, if you could get your hands on a Suarez, then you may never in your life think about Pete again.
I do. That's where you. I had a sense that's where you were headed, bro.
Yeah, I wonder. Like something has to give, right? There's something that's got to give. I don't think we're done yet. I just don't see in my like in my mind's eye. I don't see in my mind's eye the Mets going out and I don't see anybody on our team right now besides the guy I said who's going to bat fourth, and that would be Alvy. Because or you could put Polanco if you want to take a chance at him. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, I like Lindor, Soto, Bichette. I do like that.
We love it. We love it. We love for them to bat consecutive, right?
Yep.
But not 1, 2, 3, maybe 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Or even 3, 4, 5. I'd be happy with.
Right. This is what because my thing is in baseball, we always forget about chat, and you'll pardon the way that I say this, man. But in baseball, we always forget about simple shit, right? Like if you're the highly paid $60 million a year right fielder, right? You say with 2 outs, you pop out to short center, right? Like the left fielder, shortstop, third baseman, center fielder, all converge. It's an easy out, right? You know what the right fielder has to do? The right fielder has to, put his bat down, jog back to the thing, go get his glove, and jog out to right so he can warm up his arm. Right? You know what the catcher has to do if he's in that situation?
Go ahead.
The catcher, if he does that, he has to sprint back or get there quickly, back to the thing, put his leg guards on, get his vest on, talk to the pitcher, make sure his equipment is straight. And then while he's doing that, the backup catcher or some coach is taking warm-up pitches from the pitcher, and then the catcher is gonna jot out there so that he can play defense.
And that's how it's always been done. So I don't know why anybody would even argue why we shouldn't do that. It's to do it.
But my point is when you're the cleanup hitter and you ask little like the clean. I always felt like the cleanup guy should have the least amount of responsibility. The cleanup guy should either be your big left-handed power first baseman, right? He's not a shortstop. He's not a center fielder. He's not such and such. His whole thing should be run producing, driving in runs. That's his main job, right? So that should be it, right? My thing is with these young catchers, when you ask them to do too much too soon, you wind up getting a Kevin Parada. Y'all know who Kevin Parada is, right? Chat, y'all know who Kevin Parada is, right? Remember the can't miss first base prospect the Mets drafted out of Georgia Tech? The kid with the glasses?
Yep.
Yeah, chat, y'all remember Kevin Parada? The can't miss? He was in the Matt Allen draft?
Yeah.
The Matt Allen, y'all remember Matt Allen, Kevin Parada? Remember that? Kevin Parada was can't miss except professional baseball. There is a lot of stuff that goes into being a professional catcher. Right? There's a lot of stuff that goes into catching. It's the reason why catchers don't usually lead Major League Baseball in batting average. If you get a catcher that leads baseball with batting average or even bats 300, you have a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, his name is Mike Piazza.
Yeah, how many Mike Piazzas have we seen though over the years though? Not
probably about.
I would say one. I would say one.
Maybe 5, but we'd have to dig deep. What's his face was one last year. Gary Carter hit 4th. Yeah, but back then the men, no offense to the men now, but like men were different.
Right.
And teammates were different. They would bring out, the backup catcher, or even like the bullpen not the manager, but one of the coaches would go out there and warm up the pitcher.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I just think it's a good look on him because I know he has the power. I know he can do that. And Torrance could warm them up while he gets ready.
Or a coach, it don't matter. I wouldn't send a player out there. I'd send a bench coach out there. Whoever your third base coach, man. All you have to do is squat behind the plate and
just get back there. Yeah. Unless he's 70, then we gotta find somebody else. But
unless he's Don Zimmer.
right.
Unless it's Don Zimmer, then you like Zimmer. Don't
do it.
Bro, no. Yeah. I mean,
hey, I'm sorry, Buck Showalter. Don't do it. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, Buck. Don't. Yeah,
don't do it. Man. Yeah. And he'll look at you like I don't give a buck. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something for real. I think that we could push them back. There's a lot of speed up top. I really like to see what's gonna happen with Robert Jr. The conversation, remember, we had recently. I don't know if it was on air or off air, but
Right.
Giants, they did, huh?
Yeah. That was my sneaky guy, bro.
You
That
know
was
the funny thing.
that was
You
my
know the
sneaky
funny
guy
thing
for the
is.
game. Huh?
Remember, I kept saying how badly I wanted him. He played first or second.
Yeah.
I looked it up. He's not that fast.
Yeah, man. Hey, so
He
hey,
looks
Carlos,
he
what's good?
looks like somebody fast, but he's not that fast.
But he's not that.
No,
That dude,
he is a 300 hitter though.
he is, to me, that man is a Rod Carew type. Where you look athletic. You remember the old Rod Carew, not the young second base Rod Carew, but not the Minnesota Twins Rod Carew, the California Angels Rod Carew.
Yep.
Right. I I would say I really wanted Luis Ariz so that he could be our DH. DH leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
Right.
The
That's who
problem is we have 4 DHs.
right. Right. But you can't put him in the field, bro.
Yeah. Listen. Playing Bichette at third baseman is going to be the only thing I like about it is that he played shortstop most of his life, and you need less range to play third than you do short. So that gives you the stability of that. But the ball comes at you in a different, way different at third.
Bro.
Boom. That's why I want to see Bo Bichette warm up.
Bro, the safest position on the infield is second base.
Right. That's why he should go there. Simeon, who's been a Gold Glover, should learn how to play third. But if Bichette was already not a good fielder, how we turn double plays with him? And if you're praying for Beatty to be on this team, guys, then one of those guys have to learn how to play first. But my money is on Beatty learning how to play first. Yeah, that's a killer. He hits for great average. He would have been a perfect second hitter. Then we could have did exactly what we wanted. We would have found that leadoff hitter, and then we would have had him at 2, who hits over 300, and then we would have had Lindor, Soto at 4, where he's needing to play now because we don't have a boom bat, and then Bichette at 5, who's guaranteed a hit. Or you could have let off with Bichette and figured out somebody behind him. But I'd rather have somebody who has a guaranteed hit behind Soto. We'll have to see what they look like in camp. And if they're going to make a move and what Benj looks like. Can he run? Can he do it? But then that's the same thing you're talking about. You're going to lead off Benj? Like,
No.
right.
I'm gonna binge batting seventh.
Yeah.
Seventh historically is the least dangerous spot in your lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
Yep.
You're past your boppers and you're too far away from your leadoff man.
Right.
Bet him
Eighth
seventh.
is easy.
Yeah.
Because eighth will generally get walked a lot.
Yeah.
Because in historically ninth was not thought of as the speed guy to lead to a speed guy. It was your worst guy.
Right. Right.
Reeves would have been a nice pickup, but he's not there, so
he's not there.
And Hayes went to the White Sox. 1 year, $6 million. That's beautiful. We need a outfielder. We need a first baseman, and this guy got a 1 year. The White Sox ain't playing. The White Sox ain't playing. They got the Japanese kid. Hey, Carlos Ortiz, I agree with you. Vientos and Alvarez should have bounce back seasons. I agree with you, and that's why I suggested Alvarez at 4. And Armand is amazing. Ari's offense is best suited with a team that steals bases and can do a lot of hit and run. I will tell you that you are right, but we are a team with speed.
Right.
So, and Tony, the reason why I want a Gold Glover off his position is because I'm nervous regarding Bichette arm and fielding at third, where I think Bichette would be able to get second down differently. David, I gotta disagree with that. I'm sorry, buddy. Alvarez will make the Mets worse.
Yeah, I think Alvarez. I think the hitting coaches tinkered too much with Alvarez. Those, I think, with both of them being gone, I think you'll see Vientos, Beatty, and Alvarez all bounce back because the AAA hitting coach got all of them right. Every time they get right, they sent them down in AAA, and the guy down there got them right, and now he's the major league hitting coach. So you don't have to send those guys down now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fact, Tony. Chavez was not good at that, and David Torrens for sure is headed over like a whole body over most catchers defensively.
Now, here's the thing, though. One thing, I think Alvarez may be a better pitch framer, right? But everything else defensively, Torrens is better than 90% of catches. He'd be an all-star if he could bat 240 consistently.
Yeah, if maybe a little more, but yes, I understand exactly what you're saying. Yep, if he could hit 20 home runs, and that's all it would take.
That's all it would, bro. If he could, if he batted 250
and hit 20, that's all it would take.
He's an all-star.
Yep.
Because he doesn't give you. He reminds me of Benito Santiago in that everything a catcher needs to do behind the plate, he's elite at it. But the bat is what stops him from being like Benito Santiago. If he batted 280, would be a Hall of Famer, right?
Probably the best. Had every kid in our age group wanting to play catcher. I'm throwing you out from 2 knees. I'm throwing you out from 1 leg. I'm throwing you. Everybody trying to do that. JJ, I'm with you. I like those numbers, JJ. Don't get me all excited. You never seen a 280 guy do a backflip live on show, bro. I might have to take out new insurance before I do it, but
right.
Yeah, if he gets those numbers this year,
and you know, I have 3 takes that I want to run by you and run by the chat.
All right, let's do them.
I think Luis Robert being pitched around in Chicago hurt his overall value as a damage guy run producer. if you put him in a stacked lineup where he gets fastballs, I think he's easily 30 home runs, 270 in
Well,
center
right.
field, right?
In that year that he had his best year, they had the best lineup. That's when he had all the boppers around him.
Right, right.
So he stole the most bases, and he had his highest average, and he did all those things.
Right. But here's take
39. Yep.
number two.
I'm listening.
Here's take number two. If you have to throw flat fastballs to Alvarez and Vientos and Beatty, I think all of those guys are batting 260 and up, and I think all of those guys have 30 home run potential. I think that combination in this lineup will get you at least 80 home runs. Right?
Say the three guys.
Beatty, Alvarez, Vientos. In my opinion, and this is a scorching hot take, but unlike most of the content creators that do baseball stuff, I live and breathe baseball, bro. Right?
I just want to show you what I sleep with. I literally sleep with a baseball pillow.
Right. Right. And but let me finish.
And a mesh blanket.
Let me add one other thing to the Vientos Beatty Alvarez thing. I think when young players are forced to be producers, I think you put them in high leverage situations where the slightest failure ruins their confidence.
Right? I totally get it.
And so with a lineup that has proven guys in it, and when you sprinkle in proven guys,
yeah.
I'll give an example. So I'll give an example.
Okay.
The example is the San Diego Padres that had Sheffield, Robbie Alomar, and I can't remember, but those guys had the potential to be great. But when they left, yeah.
Yep.
When those guys were young, they had the potential to be, bro. There's no stopping those guys once they mature and have been around the block a few times. But when you're young and haven't been around the block, you hadn't seen somebody's wipe out curveball in such and such count. So when you see it for the first time, you're food for the pitcher. But after you've been around the block a few times, you know that's his wipeout pitch. You know to lay off. You know to make him throw you a fastball. And when he throws you the fastball, you've had thousands of swings. Now you do damage.
Right.
Right. So basically what I'm getting at is keep those guys in low leverage situations where they don't have to be the boss.
Right.
Yeah. And then you'll see them get confidence, and then your lineup will grow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let me lower that. My bad.
I'll give you a great example. Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah.
Darryl Strawberry could be great because he had Keith Hernandez and other great hitters in the lineup with him. But if you can imagine if Darryl Strawberry had come up and he still had Joel Youngblood, Lee Mazzilli, and Hubie Brooks as the guys, I don't think you see the great Darryl Strawberry.
Right? Oh, yeah. He was highly protected. There's no doubt about it. They gave him a lot of freedom to do what he did. A lot of freedom. I mean, that we could say that about a lot of the guys. Very few people are Frank Thomas, who just walloped the ball and could hit for average and did everything and didn't really have the right people behind him.
Right, but do you know the other two young players that was around Frank Thomas that benefited from a bopper in the lineup?
Who were they?
Ray Durham and Robin Ventura.
Right. Ventura hit right before Thomas. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing I'm getting at is
so he benefited from it. Yeah. Got it.
There are only a select few that strike fear in pitchers. Ohtani, Soto, Lindor, Bichette, Judge. And the irony is, out of that list I named, 3 of them now play for the Mets.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I'm gonna tell you something. The more I think about this, the more, if we don't go and get a legit home run threat, then we're gonna have to old school. Soto's gonna have to hit fourth, no matter what. And we're gonna have to build around that. There's no more. See, you could bat Soto at second. You could bat Judge at second if you have I don't even want to talk about the other team, but I'll talk about my team. If you had the people that were, here last year, year before, you can't do it anymore the same way. We're gonna have to get crafty. Soto will have to hit fourth. And that's that. He'll have to hit fourth. If we don't make another move, he'll have to hit fourth.
Okay.
And then we're going to have to get protection behind him. So Bo, who should be our best third hitter, or, and hear me out on this, you're going to have to hope that the former guy who hit 49 home runs recently himself in Simeon, or the 26 home run hitting Polanco, or that 39 home run hitting Robert Jr., or Alvarez, or somebody else is going to be able to hit behind Soto. And either fourth or fifth. Because truthfully, the more I think about it now, I don't want to touch that 1, 2, 3. I've decided against that. All this talk me out of it. Because your 1, 2, 3 gets the most amount of plate appearances. And to have the most amount of plate appearances, who are the 3 people in this lineup that you want to see the most amount of plate appearances?
1, 2, 3. Lindor, Soto,
yep.
Bichette.
Yep. So they have to stay 1, 2, 3. We can't push them back.
Right. Okay.
We can't. Yeah.
Here is my thing though with Lindor. He's durable, right? Like
Definitely.
Lindor is durable, right? For a
And
shortstop,
move
he's durable,
around. Yeah.
right? Do I want my shortstop to be my contact hitting shortstop? Do I want him to get wear and tear on him so his legs are dead when a postseason starts? These are all things we have to consider.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all.
That the see, with your leadoff guy, with your leader, I'll okay. Give an example. The greatest leadoff hitter I've ever seen, Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, me too.
Notice Ricky Henderson didn't play center field. Who was more athletic than Ricky Henderson? Not many. But Ricky didn't play center field. He played left field. Saved a lot of wear and tear on his legs so that he can use those legs in other places. Even when the Toronto Blue Jays traded for Ricky Henderson, right? They acquired Ricky Henderson. You know where they played him at? In
Left field. Left
you know
field.
who the center fielder was next to Ricky?
Of course.
Devon White, Devo.
Super nice.
One of the greatest defensive center fielders we never talk about.
Super nice. Rob made one of the best robs in an all-star game in history because he had a agenda. He had a full flight agenda, and I love the story. And I'm trying to remember who the person was. Oh, Barry Bonds. They're
you
playing.
Know why Barry Bonds didn't play center?
For the wear and tear?
Right. But Andy Van Slyke was damn good too, though. But
right. But Andy Van Slyke stayed skinny and didn't. It was easy for him.
Yeah.
But Bonds let off up until he became a cleanup hitter because of who knows why. We don't want to. I don't want to make any accusations or anything, but this is what happened. Devon White brother goes up to Barry Bonds, who is his favorite player, and says, "Hey, Barry," they're at the All-Star game, and puts his hand out. And Barry goes, get out of here. And Devon White says, yo, if he hits it my way, I'm going to rob it and I'm going to laugh at it. And he leaped over the fence. It could have been a playoff, not the All-Star. It could have been a World Series. I'll find it for you. I'll send it to you. Devon White, robbing Barry Bonds. Look it up.
Could have been.
And guaranteed, because he slighted his brother.
Right.
But, yep. And that's why I liked people like Frank Thomas. Frank Thomas would get walks, would get hits, would get homers. So right now, yeah, Joe, sweetest swing strawberry. We were talking about that the other night on the Say It Loud, sweetest swing. But first of all, I wanted to say I love talking to Mets. Man, we got a great chat. Smart.
Very knowledgeable chat. Very knowledgeable.
Yeah. obviously you bleed that blue and that orange and that blue.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, this is the thing to the point that we're making, like legit center field is like the catcher of the grass, right?
Right.
On every hit ball, your center fielder is moving,
Yep.
right? If a ball is pulled down the right field line, you know what your left fielder is doing? Looking to be active, right? Looking to be active in the play, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But when that ball is hit down the left field line, you know what your right fielder is doing? Looking to be active, right?
Yep.
But on
Noah.
every hit ball, your catcher is moving, your center fielder is moving on every hit ball, right? Brandon Nimmo said it best when they talked about Brandon Nimmo ceding center field to Harrison Beta. Brandon Nimmo said, "I appreciate the days off and the not having the wear and tear on my legs." Right? That's what Brandon Nimmo said. I don't see it as that. I still play, I still hit, I still start. I just don't get the wear and tear on my legs by playing center field. So there are a lot of things that, like for chat, for instance, I'll give you the reason why one of the reasons why I said that Alvarez batting cleanup thing is a challenge for me mentally is even on a routine ground ball, even on a 3-hopper to shortstop, guess what the catcher is doing? The catcher is sprinting down the first base line in case of an overthrow.
Yep. Or at least he should be.
He should be. He better be.
He better
right?
be.
Right. That's one of the reasons why I say, man, the catching position is so physically demanding. The catching position is so physically demanding, and to ask them to, it's almost akin to asking your center fielder to bat cleanup also. Right? You're like, they've done it. They've done it.
They do it. And they do shortstops that do it every year. Jose Reyes did it every year. That's why I'm not, I know that here's the deal. Ever since the money went up, the players became commodity, and because the players became commodity in a different way, they baby them. And because they baby them, they're even more at danger than actually being hurt during a play.
Right.
Because they're not doing what they used to do. They're not hitting. They're not doing 9 innings. They're not throwing 9 innings. They're not playing as much. But at this point, getting another hitter will cost us some farm. Waiting out that next hitter. I mean, if we're not willing to put, like, okay, say we put, let's just say really quick, we got that 1, 2, 3 already. I think at this point it needs to be, we need to figure out something different. If we really want our power hitter, because everybody on this team has the ability to hit a home run, but not everybody has ability to hit monstrous home runs every time they get up, like Soto does.
Right.
Not everybody has the ability to hit 30-something home runs like Lindor does. But Lindor also steals a lot of bags.
Yeah.
But Robert Jr. can steal a lot of bags. And Soto now has learned how to steal bags. Almost 40-40 last year, right?
Right.
So we have to figure out what goes in between, because it might not be Lindor, Soto anymore. And
Right.
if it is, then you're going to have to rely. You're either going to have to push them back to 2-3, or if you're going to keep it the way it is, I would leave it the way it is. Lindor is going to get you over 300, 330 stolen bases. Soto will be on base. They'll get a lot of hits. Bichette will have people, ducks on the pond to get him in. And then you're going to have to get crafty. And if you look at this lineup, you have a bunch of people that have hit. All right, Beatty hit almost 20. Alvarez hit 25 before. Polanco hit 26 last year. Every year, Robert Jr. hit double-digit home runs, but only once it was out of the teens or tens.
Right.
It was 39.
Right.
So he's your ninth hitter, or he's your first hitter, if you want to move them back.
Okay.
So my personal thing now that I'm thinking about is I would put him up first. He gets steals too, or I put up Lindor first and figure out who's going to be your cleanup hitter.
Right.
And right now, I'm not quite sure they're making an extra move. And eventually, either at the end of this year, middle of this year, or next year, Ryan Clifford would come up as your first baseman.
Right. Jacob Reimer is about a year and a half away from taking that job at third.
All right. He's also, by the way, crafty at first too, but I'm just saying, like, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
right. So basically what I'm saying is this, right? Basically what I'm saying is this. Guys like Juan Soto, like the Juan Soto type batters, are gonna face, and I'm gonna include in the postseason and spring training, right? Juan Soto every year is gonna face close to 4,000 individual pitches, right? He's gonna face about 4,000 pitches if you include spring training, right?
Yeah.
Lindor is probably gonna face over the course of a season maybe about 3,800, 3,900 pitches.
Right.
Bichette is going to face about 3,900 pitches. Right. And so if we just say from spring training through the World Series, Juan Soto is going to hit about 50 home runs if you tally everything. Right. Spring training, he'll probably hit about 6 of them. Postseason, he'll hit 3 or 4, maybe 5. Regular season, he'll hit about 40, right? So he's going to hit you about 50 home runs from the start of when they report through champagne and ski goggles, right? He's going to hit about 50 home runs off of about 4,000 pitches faced. And that's including ball fours, full counts, foul balls on 2 strikes, super patient hitters, guys that get 650 at bats, something like that. He's going to face about 4,000 pitches this season, right? If you add a Suarez to the mix, and Suarez is your 4 hitter, right? Do you feel comfortable with pitchers pitching to Bo Bichette if Suarez is the cleanup hitter and Polanco's in a hole?
Wait, if Suarez is the fourth hitter,
Yep.
then Bo Bichette is your third hitter.
Third hitter, yep. And Polanco is your fifth hitter.
Yeah. But the thing is, and I couldn't find it right away, is I don't know what and I gotta find that out right now. Right now.
Right.
If I'm comfortable with, I think it's more the pitcher's comfortable pitching to him. This guy is a monster. He's a 300 hitter. I'm not quite sure exactly what the question itself is, like, because Bichette is like, listen, to be a 300 hitter, you just got to get one hit out of every 3 times you're up at the bat.
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
That puts you. And if you go 1 for 3 every day, you're almost Ty Cobb.
Yeah, no doubt. You know what? Also, I don't know if he's. I think, did he say he's opting out? There's a lot of people on our team who have opted in, but also a bunch who have opted out of this WBC, the one that Diaz danced and ruined his life.
Yeah.
So why is this only showing me? This is only showing me that's tacky. I want to see his whole career. They're only showing me.
When you said tacky, I was thinking Pataki. I don't know why I thought politics just now.
Pataki. You remember they used to call them the slippers, the Patakis. Yeah. Oh, so that's what it made me think of when you said that. Pataki, my God, think about that. How old are we?
Bro, I'm old as dirt, bro.
Oh, I'm right behind you, brother. Right behind you. I found them, but they're only giving me his WBC. Oh, I know it. Okay, let me do this. All right. So, oh, but he's not on it. That's why they're not giving it to us. Okay. They're not giving me his info because he's not signed to a team.
Who?
And I'm looking up. Go to Suarez.
Okay.
And see if you can find his lifetime. All I'm getting is his WBC. And I don't think that he'll be on this either. He won't be on this. It's not on here. I would have to go to last year.
So I guess the easy question for me to ask you is, can Mark Vientos produce a Eugenio Suarez type season?
No.
That's the easy question, right?
That's the easy question. Can he produce that type of thing? Uh, look, can we will we be happy if he produces 27 again?
I'm not.
And then you might as well trade him
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if you're not happy with Swaggy getting about 30 home runs, which you should be,
Nah, because injury prone Byron Buxton hit 31.
then why isn't he part of what we're talking about? Because he should have been what we've been talking about the whole time. I actually was about to switch it to you, but then my kids, though I've told you with what's going on, and I was about to hit you with I'm gonna rap because I have to double check something, and then I saw them, but my older ones here, so I am gonna spend time with this soon.
Yeah, yeah,
But
no, no, I need to get something.
yeah, but here's the deal: we're gonna have to make a move. Who's the move? I'm not sure who the move is right now. I'm in my personal opinion right now. You want to do something? Go ahead, take take that kid who had all that power and went back down to triple A. I I don't think there is a shot in hell that they sign Suarez. There's nowhere to put Suarez. You're not going to just get rid of Nimmo if you can't get rid of Simeon to somebody for something decent. If that something decent is a couple of, you know, picks or whatever, it's not like basketball. I don't know. I we need. I would like another ace in in this team. I would like another bullpen arm. I would like to see some sort of steady boomstick. I don't think we're gonna get. It depends on where we get it from, but I don't think we're gonna get what we're looking for. Suarez, I think, even if you sign Suarez, what are you gonna do with Simeon and all these other guys who play that position? You can get rid of Swaggy and Beatty and all those other guys, but then you still have first base. What if Beatty's better at first base? Then what are you going to do with Polanco? You could trade Polanco and maybe even trade Simeon, maybe to a team that needs a DH and a second base, and get their number 2 pitcher. And that takes money off the books. We can get somebody better. But getting Suarez, like, how many times did he hit 49 home runs? I remember he was good as a Red, but I don't remember being that. And he became that. So
I feel you, right? But the reason why I say I'm not satisfied with Vientos getting 27 home runs is because Jose Altuve hit 26 home runs, bro. Brandon Nimmo hit 25 home runs, bro. And we're talking about a dude with top of the MLB power in Vientos. His exit velos, bro. His exit velos are top notch, bro.
I definitely hear
now, mind you, I have a Swaggy tattoo right here. Y'all can't see it. I have a Swaggy tattoo, like right here over my heart, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
I have a Mark Vientos. I have his date of birth and the day he arrived with the Mets, bro. right, on my chest, right? I'm the leader of the Swaggy fan club, right?
It actually says Shaggy, everybody, but
Yeah,
it's
that's because my tattoo artist is my tattoo
nearsighted.
artist is dyslexic.
It's nearsighted. Oh shit! I thought you were a Scooby Doo fan.
It wasn't me.
And you said her.
Right. I saw you do it on the counter. It wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't right. It wasn't me.
Right.
I went and made them out. I
Right.
threw them over the counter.
It wasn't me.
Listen, it wasn't me.
Right.
Listen, real quick. Let me just shoot this to you, please.
Yeah.
The man went from 27 to shot back down to the minors the next year. Yeah. If you can't be happy with 27 again, then you just can't be happy. And that's the problem we have to work on, because the man was supposed to be our fifth hitter. He was supposed to protect Pete last year.
Right.
And then we had to do all this funky, weird crap, like move Nimmo from the 2 spot to the 5 spot, and then move this guy to this spot and that spot. And I want to see a team that just picked up a guy who said to the entire world that he'd be willing to have a discussion on signing with us for 5 more years as an ace pitcher during the year. That no one in the world does that anymore. And Peralta did that.
Yeah.
So we need to make smart, good moves. Want to motivate these people? I think the person that's perfect for this, and I hear your arguments in it, but the perfect person on the lineup itself at the moment is Alvarez. Now, Swaggy could be that guy, but if you choose Swaggy, the same thing you said about Alvarez applies to Swaggy.
Right. Okay.
Because if you put him at 4th and he's batting 4th and he becomes last year's Swaggy, then his whole career is ruined, and he ain't worth the airplane you send him on, a charter flight, a dinghy to get him out of here.
Yeah.
So,
agreed. Agreed. The only difference is finding a catcher with Hall of Fame type power is rare. That can also defend. I mean, there's also a complete catcher is rare.
Right.
But finding a first baseman DH with 30 home run power there are probably 3 of them in free agency right now.
Yeah, Suarez.
Oh, it's Suarez. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And Polanco and
yeah.
I don't know. Just keep adding. We could keep talking about them. They're all there.
Fascinating, y'all. This Mets conversation is fascinating, man.
It's so fascinating because we have like 33 second baseman, shortstop, and third baseman combinations. But we don't have a cleanup hitter, a first baseman, or a left fielder.
All traditional power spots.
Each one of them.
Right. Well, but they're on the way.
They're on the way.
We have We have some that are on the way.
Yep.
Right. Joe says, who would you keep out of Vientos, Beatty, and Mauricio?
Who
And
would I keep out of them?
yeah.
Beatty.
What if I told you, bro?
Beatty. Yeah, I'm listening.
What if I told you that the reason why I'm so high on Brett Beatty is because I understand how George Brett's career started. You remember George Brett from the
Do I
Kansas City
remember
Royals?
him? Do I remember him coming out of that dugout looking to punch the umpire in the face? Do I
He was going
remember
to fight
George
the whole
Brett?
Yankee Stadium, bro. That man was going to fight the entire Yankee Stadium, bro. Did George Brett know he was in the Bronx? Did he realize he was in the Bronx, New York? He probably didn't because he was mad.
He acted like he did.
Right.
You know what?
He had a bunch of air in his chest, right?
That's right. He came out there like he just drank a 6-pack. Like he was ready. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. There is somebody in the chat really quick that said something that he you're right about that. George Brett was super special. I don't know why we don't name him more when we say Dale Murphys and all that. George Brett was super special.
Right. Hey, George Brett once batted 390, right? You know what else George Brett once did? He batted 211.
Yep.
As a young player.
Yep, exactly.
As a young player trying to figure it out, George Brett batted 211. Right? And so basically what I'm saying is I think Brett Beatty is giving me George Brett vibes. Now, I'm not saying he's George Brett. Right? Right? Yeah, I'm not saying he's George Brett. So first of all, you can't ever trust a person with two first names, right? But I'm not saying he's George Brett, right?
I agree with that so much.
What I'm saying though is that ascension to greatness is not always the Ken Griffey Jr., right? It's not always Darryl Strawberry.
No, you're right.
Right. Some of these guys have to grunt. You remember the third baseman from the Tampa Bay Rays, their first round pick? Chat, what's the third base? Evan Longoria. You remember Evan Longoria?
Yep. He was great for a minute.
Bro, he was great for And so what I'm saying is Carlos, I'm not saying he's George Brett, bro. No one will ever be George Brett. What I'm saying is even George Brett struggled at the beginning of his career, trying to figure it out. Right? Do I pull everything? What type of oppo power do I have? Right? Do I work? How do I work the count? Do I take a single when a single is there? Right? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is Brett Beatty right now, unlike Swaggy, Brett Beatty can be overpowered by elite major league pitching, right? We've seen it since day one. We know the talent is there, but if Brett Beatty faces an ace, the early Brett Beatty gave me the signs like this is food for the pitcher. Right? The pitcher is like, do I really have to throw 3 strikes to strike him out? Can I just throw 1 strike to strike him out? That's how Brett Beatty looks against elite pitching.
Okay.
Mark Vientos against elite pitching is like, if your best pitch misses by a millimeter, I'm knocking it off the apple. That's Vientos, right? But while Vientos has the ability, if he puts it all together, to be an all-star. Vientos has a higher ceiling, Beatty has a higher floor. Right? Basically what I'm saying. Like legit Brett Beatty can be, in my opinion, he can be David Wright, Ryan Zimmerman, right? If you give him the opportunity to be David Wright, Ryan Zimmerman, in my opinion, right?
He's got a beautiful swing. He has his glove is better than the three of them. That's why I said
Right.
because if he hit 17, can he hit 25? So when
Right.
you ask me, would I put any out of all those three guys? I actually think that Ronnie Mauricio has the least chance, even though he probably has the most power, raw power.
Raw power.
Raw power. He has the least chance of staying here. Now, if he'll be in AAA to start.
Right.
If 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 he knew how to hit an off-speed pitch and not make it look like he was chasing a wiffle ball, then
SpongeBob.
yeah, right. Then he would be your fourth hitter.
Yeah.
Because that would be, and so, when I think of a third baseman, I think of Gwynn. I think of
Wait, third baseman?
uh when I think of a good hitter, pardon me, a good lefty hitter.
Okay.
I think of Tony Gwynn. I think of Wade Boggs. I think of let me see if anybody had anybody in the chat.
Ichiro Suzuki.
Ichiro played right field.
No, I'm talking about left-hand batter.
Oh, left-hand bat, definitely. Now, listen, may forgive me for mispronouncing this, but this is what I've been saying from the beginning of the year. Mayaguez, Mets 62, trade for Yandy Diaz to play first base. I have no problem with that, and I think somebody like a Mauricio mixed with a low ball player might get you that from Tampa Bay.
What
First base.
I like Yandy Diaz.
Yeah.
I like Yandy.
And I've been pitching hard for him.
But what do you do with Polanco?
He's your DH. We do not want Polanco. Chat. Do we want Polanco as our everyday first baseman?
No.
So I will, and even though Yandy is not, what's his name from St. Louis and all these guys. Yeah, he's still serviceable, and he hits for some power, some average. I think I think he's a high average guy, like a 280 to 300 guy. It's another one. Add that to the guy we already have, and you will have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 9 again. I think that a lot of our guys are here. We do have to make a move for some of the guys that are yeah, Joe Gwynn was the best hitter I've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah, so the thing I'm saying about Beatty though is
Olerud was good too, by the way. But
yeah, Olerud, Wally Joyner was good too. Yeah. The thing I'm saying is about Beatty though, if you put him in a place and leave him and just let him cook in that place, I think the bat stabilizes. I think the only thing that's stopping Brett Beatty from being great is manipulating at bats. laying off these teaser pitches to the left-hand batter, right? Because the fastball at times overpowers Beatty in unpredictable counts, right? But I think if Beatty can sit on a fastball, I think he can park him. And there's a difference, right? The thing is with great hitters is not just hand-eye coordination. That's not it, right? The thing is with great hitters, because here's the thing, right? There are plenty of guys that have come through Major League Baseball with raw power, right? If I'll give an example, a dusty name from the past, Jeffrey Hammond had raw power, right? Jeffrey Hammond was the one with the coolest home run trot ever, where he would run around with his arm dead. He had the dead arm running around after he hit the ball out of the park. Jeffrey Hammond, raw power, right? Chili Davis. Anybody remember skinny Chili Davis? And then
the skinny Chili Davis.
Of Chili Davis. Anybody remember that? Chili Davis?
Yeah.
Guys come through with raw power all the time, right? But can you get the pitch you want in the count that you want and damage it? That's my issue with Brett Beatty. Now, defensively, Brett Beatty is athletic. I would venture to say Brett Beatty is one of the more athletic guys on our 25, 26 man roster. But he don't look like it. But he doesn't look
he could probably learn positions that others can't, like left field, first base, those type of things.
Right. So he doesn't look like an athlete, right? That doesn't mean he's not one. You can't judge a book by its cover, right? Brett Beatty learned second base in AAA and during the season and played a great second base. So much so that they moved Jeff McNeil off second base and put him in center field, right? My thing is though with Brett Beatty, I think the bat comes around when stability comes around, right? Like if we're able to stabilize, right? If we're able to stabilize Brett Beatty, like have him in a consistent situation where he doesn't have to worry about, hey, which glove am I using today? Am I using my glove with the pocket or the glove with the web? Right? Like where am I playing? I'm playing in left field or first base. Do I have to get the first baseman's glove? Do I have to get right? And so the less you have to worry about those things, the more you can focus on the cage and pitcher study, getting your swings in. Right?
Yeah.
And I know at this level, all these guys can hit. Like at this level, everybody can hit the ball over the fence. Everybody can hit 300 if they got fastballs. Every pitch of every count, everybody would bat 300, right? I think Brett Beatty has a higher floor because he can do more stuff at the major league level. The only thing that my only knock on Brett Beatty, non-batting wise, is he is a very safe base runner.
He's a safe base runner. He doesn't have the same power as Vientos.
Nah.
But he has more reliable power.
Yeah. He hits the ball hard, right? Yeah. But he doesn't have that gear that Swaggy has. Like, Swaggy can park you, bro. Alvarez can park you. But what's the difference between a 408-foot home run and a 450-foot home run?
Nothing.
There is no difference, bro.
That's why when I sit here and tell you that if you get one of these kids, Vientos gets 27 again, or Alvarez gets 25 again, we will be totally fine, and they could play in that position. They could play. They could bat fourth. They could bat wherever, because you're going to need to. That lineup is going to need to be shifted around. And Soto is most likely going to have to. They're not going to do it, and they should, because we're going to look really weak if we don't. But if we don't get, since we didn't get anybody else, Soto will have to back clean up.
Bro, I feel you. I understand your point. I think the chat does also. The point that I'm stressing to you is, and to the chat, is every spot in the lineup in every situation doesn't get the same pitch sequence, right? Like when you're batting cleanup, you don't get a get over strike. If you're batting seventh, the pitcher's like, I'm just gonna throw a strike to get over, right? Your cleanup hitter is knowing he's only gonna get one strike. Everything else is gonna be nibble, force you to hit a pop up or a sharp ground ball somewhere, right? But when you're batting seventh, say against Tarek Skubal, right? Say we open a season against the Pirates and Alvarez is the cleanup hitter. Tarek Skubal's not throwing a get over fastball to your fourth place hitter. He's not, because your fourth place hitter is legit dug in, and like the first fastball I see, I'm parking it, right? But when you're
you're talking about Paul Skeens. Yeah, okay.
Oh, and Paul Skeens. I'm sorry, Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
Paul Skeens. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. My no, sorry. That's right.
So when you're facing Paul Skeens is not gonna approach our fourth place hitter with a get over fastball, right? He's gonna be jump guy because he know the guy in that fourth spot traditionally has the most power on the team.
Right.
But say your seventh, eighth, ninth hitter, Skeens is gonna be throwing get over strikes, some elevated fastballs in the zone to get you to pop up or lay off, let him get strikes over or whatever, right? And so for that reason, I'm saying if Alvarez right now has issues and Beatty is having issues with pitch recognition and things of that sort, when you put them in a spot where they have to have great pitch recognition, they have to learn on the job. Right? And do the Mets have enough patience for a young guy to bat fourth and learn on the job? Right? Are you comfortable with the Mets being in third place in the middle of June while Alvarez figures it out?
No, that's why I'm telling you right now that they better go ahead and switch that batting line up. Because even with what you're telling me, I'm much more comfortable with pitch recognition from Soto batting fourth against anybody.
He's the king of pitch recognition.
Right.
So he'll do a little dance because he see it out of your hand. He'll do a little dance before the ball gets to the plate because he already saw it.
Right. He's already on one knee before the ball gets to it, ready to hit it out. Right. So if they do that and put Bichette up fifth, then you got to work on who's first.
Right.
And second.
Yeah.
Or first and third, or second and third, depending on what they do with Francisco.
That's my heartstring, bro. When we talk Beatty, Mauricio, Alvarez, and Swaggy, those are my heartstrings, bro. Those my guys, bro. I want them to bat 9th, 8th, 7th, and 6th. That's what I want. I want all of them in the lineup. I just don't want them in the lineup under pressure.
That might happen next year, but this year, only one of them is going to be in the lineup. Yeah. Only one, and we better find the right one, unless they teach like they did Daniel Murphy. And if you remember that, they're gonna have to teach somebody to play left field.
Yeah.
Who's the best athlete to play that?
You remember that you remember the Daniel Murphy love triangle at third base? Remember Justin Turner, right, and Daniel Murphy?
Yeah, man.
And probably the most talented out of the four was a dude was a guy named Daniel Evans. Daniel Evans was probably the most physically gifted out of those four, but he couldn't get out of AAA for some reason. He would come up to the majors, hit a double, be sent down, and then in AAA he'll bat like 219. He's like, lead, bro.
Right. You know, I'm afraid of. They did that. That they already did that to Swaggy and to Beatty, and Beatty reacted much more major leagueish.
I think Beatty just needs time. And Tony asked, like, why would we switch up the lineup? My thing is I think we have like a different philosophy when it comes to it. My personal opinion is that I'd like to, or my personal taste is, I'd like to see Lindor bat with runners on base, right? When a guy hits 30 home runs and has 70 RBIs, that means he's not really doing damage with runners on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if a guy hits 30 home runs and has like 68 RBIs, you're like, oh boy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And there's a lot of them because there's a lot of people who now steal and hit home runs, but they're not. You know that you got to find a spot for them, so they throw them up first, so they throw them up second, or they throw them up eighth. Really, is what happens, and he'll get 30 home runs and 68.
Right. And so Lindor had 86 RBIs. I'd like that number to be closer to 100.
It could be if he moved up one spot, it'd be 110.
Tony. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Mindy doesn't know baseball. I think he does. Mindy knows more about baseball than I do, right? But what I'm saying is this: we don't have a guy because as good as Bichette is, I don't think Bichette is a 110 RBI guy, 120 RBI guy.
No,
right? I don't think Bichette is a 40 home run guy.
No, he's a 20, 25, 80 tops.
I think Bichette can be a 320 hitter with 20 home runs and 90 RBIs.
If he's lucky,
90. That's what I think Bichette is. And I think Soto is probably a 275, 280 guy with 43 home runs and probably 105 RBIs. And the only reason why it's 105 is because guys aren't on base when he hits. Right? That's what I'm saying. But if we can get guys on base, runners in scoring position, more runners in scoring position with those guys, because I think when it comes to contact hitters, I don't know if there is a better 3 contact hitters in a row in a lineup than the Mets. Maybe Freeman, Ohtani, Mookie, maybe. But when you're talking about Lindor, Soto, Bichette, back to back to back, you're getting contact.
The only other one maybe might be Acuna Jr., Olsen, Riley. But still, I think we're better than that.
Okay.
He'll give us 100. He was doing that in Toronto with less hitters. 100 RBIs? Go read that again, my friend. Bo could do it if he bats. If Bo could do it if he bats behind Soto and behind Lindor, but also behind somebody else. Because what we are saying is we want to improve our run differential between last year and this year by moving up our leadoff to number 2 or number 3, which would then allow Lindor to be a 35, 105 and a Soto to be a 43, 130.
Right.
You just got to find the right combination of the number 1 batter. And yes, you do want your best hitters to bat 1, 2, or 3. But we're just saying find number 1 and let Lindor be 2 and Soto be 3. Let Bichette, you know what? Let Bichette hit 4th. Who cares? Who cares? He hits 25 home runs. He hits 20 home runs. He hits for average. Maybe we don't even need to have him to do that. But I'm gonna tell you what. I got a wrap.
All right. Yeah, me too. The thing is when I look at the Bo Bichette stuff on Fangraphs, I think I kind of see that. But what I will say though, Tony, is this. What I'll say is this to your point. I do understand what you mean. And then the second part of was a lot being how little 7 through 9 was on base last year. If 7 on, what I'm saying is I don't care how the lineup looks in terms of that. If the Mets can get runners on base, I'm all for it. My main point throughout the whole conversation is this: runners on base when those 3 guys hit. Period. That's it. So if your 7, 8, and 9 guys can get on base, bro, I'm right there with you. Right? But 7 through 9 have to get on base. 7 through 9 have to get on base in order for us to score more runs. Because clearly, though we improved defense in certain areas, we took a step back in defense in other areas. Like we're taking a step, let's say a side step in left field, because we don't know what left field defense is going to look like. But at third base, we're breaking in a brand new third baseman, a guy that has never played the position before. And it's the same thing with first base. Right field is right field. Right? Center field is going to be great. Shortstop, second base, catcher are going to be great. Right? But when it comes to just run producing, like just giving guys a chance to be run producers. Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yo. Hey, first time caller. Sorry.
Hey, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks. I pressed the wrong button. I would never just leave my partner and the chat like that.
Yeah. I was gonna get out of here anyway because I got to do some prep for Echo and Essence. So I got to do some. I gotta have the conversation about music and how it affects us, right? Like how music is a part of everything that we do, and how certain things just stirs your spirit and all that stuff. Hey, Mets fans, thank you for the delightful and engaging conversation. I appreciate y'all, right? And I appreciate the chat is super knowledgeable, bro. And listen, I read the stuff in the chat, makes me smarter. Right? Just because you have an experience in one thing, doesn't mean that like for instance, like when you play and your coaches teach you one thing, as time evolves and sports evolve, your old school coach, things aren't done the same way as like Mendoza is definitely not managing like Billy Martin.
Or Buck Showalter.
Yeah. Hey, man, thank y'all, everybody, for coming through rocking, man. We're going to get out of here, y'all.
Yeah, no doubt. Just want to let y'all know, man, you're all I need to get by. All right?